You've been playing and practicing and you've done all this before.
Once you're sitting there, just zone in on the game, spar against all the great play and soul players.
It's really an awesome experience. Seeing how we stack up against these people we've been watching for almost 2 years.
We all try to help each other improve, help our friends improve.
There's a lot of talent that aren't motivated to compete in tournaments. Can definitely be competition going forward.
For people coming in, I think it's just a matter of working on what they can do and improve that, but also capitalize on what they can do so that they can succeed.
You can see the disappointment on Zach's face right there.
Team synergy is the biggest element. Good team comp.
Find teammates and practice a lot.
NA's going for gold this year. Be a part of it.
To those of you who are active in the PvP scene now, to those of you who this is the first time playing, one day you may see yourself up on this stage, competing to represent territories around the world.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Blade and Soul Twitch channel for day number 2 of the North American Preliminary, the first of second North American preliminaries. We've had our our first 2 EU victors crowned, and who will be joining them across the pond from the North American region? We're about to find out today. Remember, the top 2 teams will be going through. My name is Kit Fox. It is an absolute pleasure to be your play-by-play caster for the remainder of the afternoon, and I'm joined once again by my man Hank, who will introduce himself and take us through the format. Hank, how are you, my man?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you this fine? Was it morning for you right there in the Southern Hemisphere?
Very early in the morning on Sunday
too,
here.
Huh?
But I'm here because I love it, my man, and we are about to find out who is going to be going through representing North America. You can see on screen there, we've got the Goblin Spiders and Team Buy from the from the EU region. They are the first 2 representatives that will be going through to the finals in the UK to hopefully represent Europe at the World Championships. But Hank, my man, just run us through how we're going to do things today, just for those who weren't here yesterday.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing mostly the best of 3, which is these 4-set matches right here. And at the very end, for the 2 finals, we'll do the 8-set. How it works is every 1v1 counts as a singular point, and 3v3s count as 2 points. In the 4-set, all you need is 3 points to win. For the 8-set, however, you're going to need a grand total of 6 points to win. And that kind of changes things up with the dynamic in terms of how many people can repeat. In the 1v1s for the 4-set, you can possibly have one player just not do a single 1v1 because you're allowed repeats. However, in the 8-set, you have to have at least one single person nominated per 1v1. Details for that are here and there, but more importantly, we'll get to that when we get to that later on in the evening.
That's exactly right. And on your screen now, you'll see just what the teams are playing for. As you can see, there are 2 preliminary tournaments, the first of which we are doing today. And both of those will be 2 days each. You got the upper bracket winner and the lower bracket winner will be going through. So we won't actually have to have those 2 teams play off, which is fantastic. So that is why Goblin Spiders and Buy went through from EU. And then in a couple of weeks' time, you've got the second preliminary tournament. So should the teams be unsuccessful in today's outing, they can re-enter, come back, and have another crack at representing the region. Should those teams be successful, down at the bottom of the screen there, you'll see finals tournament, 25th of August. That, Hank, is where you start playing for the big moolah. $21,500 for first place, $15,000 for second place, $8,500 for third, and 5 big ones for fourth, which I think is pretty awesome for playing some video games, don't you think, Hank?
I definitely don't forget, like Kit said, if at first you don't succeed, you can try again in a few weeks. So it's not everyone's last hope this time. That being said, you always want to take it home. You want to win your very first time. And when we see it up next, we're going to our first match today will be Karma versus Guardian down at the losers bracket. Kind of the big surprise of yesterday, of course, Guardian being one of the top seeds of NA. We just knocked out fairly early, but you know, they've been hanging pretty strong right there, taking Waffle Fries out, but they still have to get through Guardian and whoever may lose in the winners bracket. It's a long journey for them. Let's hope they can still keep their top seed. But again, if they can't this time, you still got next month.
That's exactly right. And as you can see on screen now, we're going to start with Karma and Guardian. As Hank just said, those are going to be the sets of 4. So first to 3 points, Karma versus Guardian, as well as Whose Man Is This and Legacy. Whose Man Is This, the team that our man Frozone currently calls home. So good to see a bit of cast of representation, Hank, still in the competition. But then once we get up there for Happy versus Bag T, that is where we get our hands dirty, the real nitty gritty. That is going to be the set of 8, first to 6 points. And like you said, everybody has to hit the field. Everybody has to make a contribution in those 1v1s because nobody needs to sit out, Hank. There's plenty of esports on offer and it's a team effort. The last thing you want is to say, I carried you through. I carried you all the way to Worlds. Nah, everybody has to pull their weight.
Yeah, definitely going to be quite a bit longer dynamic and on Happy versus Bag Team. It's also a stamina thing. You know, you can't just rest after a single match. You got to keep going. 8 set. There's not much of a refresher. I think the big thing, a lot of players like, all right, as soon as a 3v3 is over, you usually get time to relax. No, in that kind of setup, you actually have to do consecutive 3v3s, and that is very tolling, especially if you take a very, very heavy loss. Well, hey, if you got a really good win, you keep that momentum, you're on fire. You're going to keep going. But again, our next match will be a set of 4, best of 3 points, Karma versus Guardian. If you remember them, it'll be 9R on your Blade Dancer, Bluebell the Summoner, Shiva Hero on the Force Master, and the Bears, which most likely, you know, they might change it up. Sin as a 1v1, Destroyer for the 3v3s, Aikini being that Warlock for 1v1s, Gunner for the 3v3s, and Yasuni, Warlock through and through. Hopefully, maybe we get a surprise Soul Fighter from Aikini. Who knows? Whatever they want to do right there.
Maybe. We were talking about yesterday just how deep his pool is when it comes to classes. I mean, he's got the Soul Fighter as well as the Gunner and the Warlock. I mean, that's just a 3-course meal right there. No matter what he's feeling, no matter what the taste of the day, he's just able to serve it up. And then you've got Yasuni, the little Warlock that could. I mean, he's amazing. Like, for such a small character, carries such a big
small character. I think you better watch these short jokes.
Hey man, no, look, I love Yasuni. Got to spend a fair bit of time with him while we were over in the States, and look, I know what he offers. I know how committed he is to the game, so I'm expecting to see big things. Remember yesterday when Guardian were actually fielding their 1v1s, Yasuni didn't actually take the field in their first game until the 3v3s came out. That's when he was sort of forced out and really came into his own. That Warlock value just paid for itself. He came onto that arena holding big $ bags. That's just how much money he was bringing to the table. Let's see, though, in this first off 1v1, it's going to be 9art versus the Bears. Now, this will be interesting to start things off. Blade Dancer versus the Assassin. I'm keen. I am so keen, Hank.
All right, let's go. We have the Bears and 9art just starting off under perspective corner, trying to get in and out of range for the Soaring Falcon, probably turning leaf. Maybe I'm wrong, or maybe we'll go with a different over. SS already gets used by 9art, so he's kind of just stuck down there. The Bears able to iframe 2 CCs already. Wastes his landmine, but let's see what the actual exchange is right here. You got to watch out for that turning leaf because he doesn't really have a way to spawn. Shadow Dash to get that free vision. Shadow slash C stun to kind of get the tech chase. Launch him to air, probably going to web on the floor. This is where the Sin has complete control of the game right now. He really doesn't mind. See, and now has to use his tab escape onto the Poison Breath, and now Barracks just has to reset it for himself. Uses the iframes, calm down, get his cooldowns, and he'll probably be able to spawn very effective. There it is, the double knockdown, cancels the get up, and there's the stun, and here we go with the big 100-0 combo, stacking the dazes and the stuns. The rolls are already, 9art has no escape, and probably finish out with the clean bombard.
Yeah, I didn't want to be 9art in that situation. I really feel for the lad. That was absolutely brutal by De Beers, just the way he was able to bait out those escapes. And then you saw at the end there, it was basically almost 100-0 after the initial rope-a-dope style play, you know, forcing his opponent back onto the wall and then off again. Like you said, no escapes. You're going to have a bad time, and Guardian sitting pretty. They are going to take the first round. They do not want to be out of this. I mean, it really look. It was a surprise yesterday that we saw them actually get knocked down into this.
I'm telling you, they just weren't awake. And you know what? The key thing they probably did overnight, they just didn't sleep. You know what? You don't have to wake up if you've never slept. Jokes aside, very astonishing large margin victory. De Beers playing amazingly, had complete control of that match, was able to maintain. He didn't even bother using his escapes. He knew how to counter most of the skills. Up next, we're going to have Bluebell on the Summoner versus Yusuni on the Warlock. I'm expecting some big damages here and there. I'm expecting some interesting terms of healing and iframes, but let's see what's going to happen right here, right now.
Well, Yasui's going to have to do it and do it quick. That's the way the Warlock's going to get over the top here now. The Sanctum will go down. Just to start things off from Yasuni, not going to have any cheeky hits coming his way. Pluber now gets launched to start things off, opts not to use any of his escapes, so smart play. Actually, sorry, did use the retreat, so that's now down. But he's still got a bit more to offer. Oof. Soul Shackle will connect now. The time distortion comes out from Yasuni. Bluebell just is forced to sit back at there and just receive a fair bit of damage, trying to throw out Ruptures for good measure now as Yasuni. Bluebell is happy though, will actually get off the stealth and we'll be able to sit back and actually get the drop on Yasuni here, who, unfortunately for Bluebell though, is stuck up against the wall. Yasuni is he's just having a field day here. Bluebell's healing back up now. It's Yis's turn to receive some damage. The Sunflower is just doing work, as well as the Rose Thorn. In comes Yis now, but gets launched by Bluebell. Could this be the game? 2%, 0%. Yasuni gets taken down. Not bad.
Yeah, very good on Bluebell. So I thought Yus had at the very beginning, but it just seems he was able to catch, especially hitting into that Dandelion, probably mid-fight, probably hurt him the most. You know, Bluebell was kind of out of things to do, but it's like, oh, I have stealth, I can stall out. The scary thing for Warlock is the roots from Summoner. Summoner has a pretty low cooldown on its roots. And Warlock only has virtually one way to get out of it. They have to SS, and once that's down, they can get so much free damage. You break that guard, and then Warlock's just walking away in pain, just chopping him down. Poor Yasuni kind of lost his opportunity there. But now we get the fun part of the day. We get the 3v3. This is what we came for. These actual team fights are what really matter. These 2-point game. This is a match point because we have a 1-1 score, best to 3.
100%. Guardian, they've done it tough, haven't they, Hank? I mean, when they lost by 1 point to Legacy to remove them down in the bracket. Their other games haven't exactly been as clean cut as they would have liked. And this one is going to be no exception. Again, they find themselves basically fighting for their life. It is game point, and it all comes down to this. So they're doing it tough. They're doing it the hard way. But regardless, they're still doing it. And that's all that matters in the end, no matter how tough it might be. As long as you get through, put your head down and just go for it. Guardian, Karma is standing in their way. You've got Ninart, Bluebell, and Shibahira, who hasn't really been able to spread his wings and unleash the full beast, the full potential of the Force Master just yet, I would think, Hank. I think that's fair to say. We haven't seen it at its full potential, but Shiba, the last one alive in the competition, definitely has more than just Karma's pride to play for here. He's carrying the FM name.
Yeah, I think he's like, of course, he is the lone FM in this tournament, so he has a bit of pressure. But I think, keep in mind, he's playing a very supported defensive role. You know, he doesn't need to do so much damage. He doesn't need to worry about these large combos. I mean, in 3v3s, it's very hard to do a lot of comboing because it's not very safe. You know, you get tag-ins, tag-outs. But as a Force Master, you have the utility to just save your teammates very well, and you got to stall out for cooldowns. And I think in that aspect, he's doing fairly well. That being said, though, they did, as we know, Karma runs a very stall comp, you know, the very defensive, I can heal this, I can survive this, you know, with the Blade Dancer, Summoner, and Force Master having a good amount of heal. The big problem they tend to take is very large damage comps, the Warlocks or the Gunners. And unfortunately, though, Guardian has both of those classes. So I think that's the hard issue. Like, if they can't survive this large Warlock aerial or the free damage from a Gunner or the sustainability of each, or even the wall bang that could be coming up, they have to be very careful about that.
Yeah, Akini will be rolling with the Gunner, so that is what we expect to see. But it's one apiece. This is match point. Whoever takes this one will progress through, and whoever loses will be going home early. So Bluebell is the one on the receiving end of damage to start things off. Yasuni with a fantastic launch. This has to be an assist coming in here. It is. In comes Ninart for the save, dealing a little bit of damage to Yasuni, just breaking him out of the combo. Now the time distortion will come in. Yasuni says thank you very much, resets those cooldowns, and Bluebell will just create distance and heal back up. Tags in Ninart straight over, but he gets caught on the tag in, and Yasuni puts him up against the wall and just starts going to town.
Yeah, they're dishing out that massive Warlock and Gunner combo. Ninart's in a pretty bad situation. It seems like he didn't want to be tagged in just yet, and now he's going to be eliminated. Wow. It seems like there weren't any saves from Bluebell or Shibahira. There weren't really a chance to do so, and now it's the Bears' turn. This could be the opportunity for Karma if they really want to turn it out. The story has no party saves. from the other teammates. That being said, the Bears is playing insanely careful about this, using his red spin. Luckily, he won't get wildflying. But Bluebell, has to fight this destroyer. He has used most of his skills. So the Bears has to, he only has his Ember Stomp. That's being used. He really doesn't have much to respond with now. This could be Bluebell champ dealing a good chunk from Sunflower, but he gets hit by the upward strike, or I'm sorry, the searing strike. And now it's Aikini's turn, opting to just get that free damage. The Tombstone immediately used after the Haze Bomb. And now Bluebell has to use all of his escapes right now. He still has Power Pound launching into the air, but it's not going to do very much as we see that Yasune is here for the rescue. And poor Shibahara is now thrown into the mix. Unfortunate.
Yeah, this is not good for Shiba here. He's going, come on, guys, what have you done? Now he has to tag in. He's one player down on Karma's side, and they're just running it down at the moment. You got De Beers getting into the aerial. Nice pile driver. Gets the drag off.
And there's the wall
back into the red spin, and the wall's back. Oh, this is filthy to watch. I can't avert my eyes, though. Shiba finally pulls in the tag and gets away. He needs to start dishing out some hurt because it's all Team Guardian at the moment. Yes, they've got Bluebell, but one man down. And if this goes to calculation, God forbid, it's just going to stagger all the way over for Team Guardian, Hank.
Yeah, again, it's all about that massive damage. They're having so much trouble, and especially now they don't have a Blade Dancer iframe anymore, so it's going to be very difficult. Shibahara has to rely on Bluebell, but Bluebell already uses a tag in her, and now we're switching out. Bluebell's now stuck in there. He can't get out of there. It's only Shibahara who can defend him, but Bluebell is in the entire game, and now Yasune is probably getting revenge for his 1v1 match in that free rupture damage, but the pedal stone will probably protect Bluebell, but I don't know how long it'll do it. Hits into the party dandelion. That's good for Bluebell, but now we're getting that free damage from the gunner, massively unloading, literally using unload onto that poor summoner.
Shiba here now, the lone guardian, the last remaining hope for Team Karma, the one standing between them and going home. Can he do it? Can he pull off an absolute miracle here? Everybody from Guardian is at max HP there. He will get his recuperation up. There you go. You want to be fighting at max HP, Hank, especially if you're going up against 3. Now in comes De Beers, starts spinning.
And there's the wall bang.
The wall bang is on, or is it? The Ember Stomp goes down now, just into the wedge. He's doing it slow, but he's doing it nevertheless. Shiba here now, just on the receiving end of all this damage, opts not to use the escape. That's what De Beers was trying to do there, just trying to get something out. Retreat, though, is almost back up for Shiba here, but he's still got a fair bit to go. Inferno is on offer, but he just hasn't got the opportunity to start unloading yet, Hank. Now, this is where De Beers calls in the help, and this could be it.
The Bears, it seems that actually he doesn't mean to be intended to be tagged, and he does have 3 interferes, so he's got it, and he's also in the incorrect spec of a shadow tag in him. So this could be Shibahara's chance to turn around again. It's still looking a bit bleak though. Shibahara has ult. Will he be able to pull it off right here? As we know, Yasune is the only tag for the Bears. There we go. There's the ult. We're opting for the ice ult, going for the grip, and this could be bad for the Bears. This matchup is actually pretty hard without a correct spec. The shadow build doing as much as it can, and we see Yasune coming in for the save. The grip into the shackle. And lucky for Shibahara, he was able to escape, but there's the destroyer ult, and you're out of things. Wait, the Bears, why did you knock him out of your own ult?
The execute for the win. De Beers secures it for Team Guardian, and they started that match off supremely, Hank. That is how you're going to do it. You take down the Blade Dancer. There goes your iframe. You're going to struggle from there on out, and Guardian are the ones to be going through with the victory. They keep their hopes alive of representing North America at the World Championships, and what a way to start the day, Hank. We've only got a few games on offer today, and if they're all as good as that one, I'm going to be a very happy man.
Guardian playing super well. They realize, hey, the only class that doesn't have a range protection, it's actually the BD, and they were able to get so much power. Again, you got to watch out for these wombo combos, the wall bangs, the aerial, the reset. It's so scary. But
it's ruthless. I mean, and we saw De Beers coming in at the end there with that destroyer ulti, and he knew that the end was nigh, and then that execute at the end, just for style to round it out in the fire stick as well. It's good. It's good to watch. It's good to see people having fun, and they will be progressing through. And Karma, bad luck for them. They are down and out, but their journey is not over, Hank. Remember that there is that second tournament in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, and I expect to see them doing just as well and probably a little bit more practice, whatever you need. But, these are, again, regional veterans. They've been there once. They can try and do it again. So we'll see them again next month is what I'm hoping. Don't get too discouraged. You have more chances. But, yeah, again, congratulations to Guardian. An exceptional victory right there. And just this is the power of that comp, that Warlock Gunner comp, just so much damage.
And it looks as though whose man's is this? Just had a bit of a big Friday night, I believe. No, we actually don't know what happened, but they're unable to field a team today. So Legacy will be going through, which means that they will be facing Guardian, I believe, in our next match, Hank. So we're going to get ourselves a double dose of Guardian. If you like that, well, I'll tell you what, we are just throwing on another patty, make it a double, extra cheese and everything. Guardian. If they can ride that momentum wave, Hank, that is just going to throw them over here. But here they are again. Now, this is going to be their biggest challenge of the entire tournament so far, because now they're going up against Legacy. Legacy was the team which knocked them down into the losers bracket to begin with. So they have got blood in their eyes. They want to taste vengeance. And now there's a lot more on stake. You lose, you go home. At Guardian, do not want to be doing that.
Yeah, and this is also just the grudge match, you want to say. Guardian got knocked out by Legacy in the winners bracket. I'm sure this has got to be like, hey, we got another chance. We're gonna do this right. We're trying to go for that clean 4-0 victory or whatever they deem necessary. Again, Guardian, having good start. They're more. I think most of the time people are like, oh yeah, if you have more games, you're less fresh. I think they had their warm up. I think they're ready to go now. They're on fire. They have, like you said, the momentum. They can take it. But that all depends on Legacy too, because they don't really have a bad record. They did beat Guardian once. They can do it again.
Yeah, and look, it was the first game of the day. And not only was it the first game of the day, it was the first game that also went to the tiebreaker round, the extra 1v1. So it's not like Guardian got walloped. It's that we said they had their sea legs. We said that, they were a little bit shaky. They're a bit wobbly, but the way that, over the last couple of games that they played, just then on stream, against against Karma was fantastic. Previously, before that, against Waffle Fries was another 3-1. So yes, they are dropping rounds. So it's not, it's not as pristine as they'd like, but they're still there. They're getting it done. And a 3-1 is quite convincing, more convincing than losing 3-4, so to speak.
Yeah, so again, we have the party and class comps up ahead to Bears. We see him in the 1v1s. He is that Sin, but opts for Destroyer in the 3v3s. Aikini gonna use his gunner for the 3v3s, but Warlock in the 1v1s. And Yasuri, the Warlock one-man army specialist right there. And on Legacy side, we have Sayuri, the returning Warlock from other regionals as well. He's saying, I'm here. I'm going to make a statement. Don't forget about me. You may have 2 of the top Warlocks, but you don't have 3 of them. And then we have Nisam at OCN, the Destroyer, who was previously from Guardian's team, trying to say, hey, round 2, you made a mistake by not keeping me. All right, I'm the better Destroyer. And Akito, the very well-known Sin from OUO from last year's regional 3rd place. They are definitely a powerhouse team, and this is probably a match that could feel a little bit personal. This is the chance for both sides. Guardian being, hey, we lost to you once in this tournament. We're not going to let it happen again. And Legacy, extending their own legacy, being like, your top seed last time, there's a spot for us now.
Yeah, and just on that, you just put a weird thought in my head. What would happen if you got the top 3 Warlocks in the region? Say they were multi-class, like, Sayuri's not, but Akini is. I'm sure you could train this up. Get the 3 best Warlocks on the team and enter them into a competition. What do you think will happen?
I think, of course, obviously on the NA side, you kind of just monopolized it right there. It's like, oh, how many do you have a Warlock in your team? No, they're over there. But then always the big problem is when you end up going to the big world tournament. You get to you go to worlds, facing other regions: Korea, Vietnam, Thailand, Russia, China, Japan. I hope I'm not forgetting anyone. But regardless,
you're not forgetting Australia. It's fine.
It's awesome. Not one day. You're in progress. But again, you don't want too much of a one-trick pony, especially if you're multi-classing, because you're not always going to be as good as your main class, and in the world scene that'll be difficult. But that's just some random speculation. We have Guardian versus Legacy coming up. We have our first match is going to be Warlock Yasuni versus Destroyer Nisam. And I think this could go anyone's game. Again, Destroyers do not have a bad matchup on Warlock. Contrary to popular belief, it's not that bad.
No,
so
it's actually quite stacked at this level anyway in favor of the Destroyer. I mean, if you were a little bit lower, I could see where you would think the Warlock has the advantage. I mean, on paper, you would think so, but a good Destroyer who can prioritize his targets and prioritize them well and just execute the build to perfection is the one that's going to come out. And Nisam is very good at that. Let's see what he can do here. It's Guardian versus Legacy.
Yeah, see the Tether Blade already missing. That's a big disadvantage for Yasuni. He's going to have to play a little passive. As I say that, get the free damage during the Bastion. Fury used for the throw, but I think he used it a little early because he didn't wait for Yasuni not to smack him back with that massive combo right there. My friend, now you're in a big trouble. You used your escape, you used your Fury. All you have left is Ember Stomp, and the Thrall is still up. The Red's been trying to chop off, and Yasuni probably is just going to murder and do a little bit of damage. Here it is, the PB and the spin that can't deflect against the skills that are undeflectable. There's no saving you, Nisam.
100-0. Not bad. Not bad at all, Hank. We were just talking up how good the Destroyer is up against the Warlock, and then Yasuni goes, these guys. Listen to these guys. I'm going to prove these guys wrong. He's good. You can't take anything away from Yasuni. So that's the first 1v1 down. You blink and you'll miss a performance. He takes a victory over Nisam. Now, the Bears is going to be going up against Akito, a Sin v Sin matchup. Yesterday, we saw a Summoner v Summoner matchup where they decided to sleep each other at the exact same time, and many lols were had. But this one, there's none of that. There's not going to be any of those cheeky CCs, the dual CCs anyway. It's going to be a good old-fashioned bloodbath here in the arena. So, Hank, I like this one because you often think of De Beers and Akito as two of the best assassins going around in the region, which is why I was so excited yesterday for the Plubel Oxtra game on the Summoner. You've got a little bit more to play for. You know, there's not only the fact that you're playing for points for your team, but it's the fact of saying, hey, you got a little bit of pride in your class. I want to be better than you. I want to be the best in the region. And matches like this, you know, you can talk smack as much as you like, but these are the matches that prove it.
And definitely a lot of stakes. You know, you say on paper, like, hey, I beat you in the same class mirror matchup onto this competition. Again, the weird thing about mirror matchup, it's not always representative. Sometimes it's always like, hey, maybe I'm just really good at the mirror. I think this isn't our first Sin mirror. I want to say yesterday we had Akito versus Virus, was it?
I think we did, yeah.
And that was definitely a challenge on both sides, you know, having to maintain 2 escapes and these low cooldown CCs. So again, the Bears versus Akito, wondering if one of them is going to pull off that really cheeky Ice Mine or the traditional Knockdown Mine. And then what other specs you may use, perhaps maybe we're trying to PvE them with Heart Stab. I doubt it. But the big thing is they have to be wary of each other's Flower and Stealth Escape. We saw that Stealth Escape, I believe, on Akito's side. He was just mashing his tab the moment he got it and hit Virus with that Stealth, with that blind right there. That was the big finish. You can't get hit by these escapes, my friends, because again, with the class with these large amount of CC, these numerous ways to combos, 1 CC could mean it all.
Yeah, I think yesterday De Beers, when he played the Assassin, was actually using the Fire Mine, and it was either Akito or Virus that were using the Ice Mine, but there was contrasting styles of play there, like were we going for the freeze or were you going for the knock-up? And just as I was about to talk up I think it was the Destroyers, one of the Destroyers that was playing yesterday against him. Oh, he's being very wary of that Fire Mine, you know, not going anywhere near it, and then just literally walks on top of it. Opens himself up to a combo and
like tripping on a banana right there.
Yeah, it's the banana peel. That's what's happening.
Yeah, so I'm really excited for this matchup. You know, these Sins are very interesting, but of course there's going to be a lot of issues with these stealths, and see how these cheeky ways they try to get you out. They use Lightning Rod, they'll use their Lightning Strike, anything to get them out of stealth, and we'll see what happens.
So Guardian currently 1 round up. It is a set of 4. So De Bears against Akito from Team Legacy, looking to claw the points back to keep themselves alive in this competition. Loser of this set will be going home, joining Team Karma on the bench. There you can see, ooh, the Ice Mine coming out. It was Akito that has been using it. Let's see what De Bears is packing. Haven't really seen it yet. Ooh, but that is a good Shadow Slash to start things off. It's Akito on the receiving end of that damage. So we've just got 2 of the guys sizing each other up here. The decoy will come out from De Bears, just baiting out the Bombard. The Lotus now goes in. That's another Bombard into the close shade. This time it's Akito. De Bears just needs to be wary of that one. Throws out the Poison Breath. Will actually collect Akito here. Just get a little bit of that dot damage going. There's the Fire Mine we were talking about. And goes back in and starts dealing some damage. Close shade for good measure. Now into the stealth. Back out. So much damage. The Bombard goes in into the aerial. And now Akito gets swept. He is in trouble. The Lotus is up barely. Finally, it comes back up, but De Bears is going to come through with the lightning strike and take it for Guardian. Not bad. Can't hear you, Hank. Okay, I think Hank, my man, you just got a few mic issues there, but you'll wait for you to sort that one out. But De Bears, clean and cut, literally, against Akito there. Now, unfortunately for Team Legacy, they are down, and this is not a familiar position for them. Last time these guys went head-to-head, we were talking about it before, Guardian were the ones that were down, and then it was the 3v3 where they actually decided, you know, put the foot down on the gas and get it rolling. So can Legacy do the exact same thing? Will we have deja vu here? Oh, there we go. But will we have deja vu here? Except this time, we've got a little bit of role reversal going on.
Yeah, I mean, hoping regardless, Guardian's probably thinking, listen, it doesn't matter which way we win, as long as we do win. Again, these 3v3s are pretty heavy on Legacy side, because, you know, this is the type of game that they lost to last time, you know. That's a lot of pressure. It's like, okay, we couldn't win the way we last time. Please don't tell us we're going to lose a different way now, too. 3v3s, again, it's a bit, again, party comp-wise, both of them do very well. You have the Destroyers, you have the Warlocks, and that difference, though, it's that Gunner versus Sin right here. Which one's going to opt to be more useful? The Sin having a party iframe, the Sin having the party buff, and an amazing neutral, the stealth mechanics, and a bit of healing from that smoke bomb, versus the Gunner with just tombstone, unload, sustainable damage, these hooks that'll stall forever, the Skystone that helps you always escape, and we can't forget these really cheeky, massive burst aerial combos.
So starting it off will be Destroyer going up against the Sin. So Guardian side will be rolling Destroyer, Warlock, and Gunner. So Aikini pulling that one out of the surprise back pocket. And then over on Legacy will be Assassin, Destroyer, Warlock. As you see on the screen there, no surprises. It's all clean. They know, their opponents know what they're going to offer up. Meanwhile, Guardian, you don't really know. You don't really know until it's time, Hank, until, you know, you submit your team, you know, several minutes before the game, of course. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like if you submit multiple classes that you kind of have a slight advantage over your opponents who don't. Say at the moment, see here on paper, Guardian know they're going to be going up against that composition every single time. Legacy, meanwhile, they sort of have to anticipate and they have to practice for a lot more.
Yeah, I know Guardian, just very versatile in all other classes. If they put every single class they could pay, that's a psychological battle. I think the Bears has been known to play Destroyer, Sin, and even Kung Fu Master if you really wanted. Yasuni playing Sin, Blade Master, and his own Warlock, and Aikini, you know, Soul Fighter, Warlock, Gunner. You can throw that all on the list and just try to confuse your opponent. But I think at this stage of the tournament, I'm pretty sure they're like, okay, at least we know they're not going to do something ridiculous. We're not going to see KFM, a Soul Fighter, and a Sin out of nowhere. You know what I'm talking about? Well, but if they change it, that's more fun for us, the viewers, right?
Shake things up a little bit. Everybody likes surprises. Am I right? Mm-hmm. Christmas time is the best time. That's full of surprises. Go under the tree. How about the Blade and Soul tree? Get a couple surprises under there. Hey, there's a few giveaways. That's what's been going on in the chat. So let's get it on. It's going to be Guardian versus Legacy to start things off. It will be Yasuni versus Akito. So they actually shook the classes up a little bit. So we'll have Warlock versus Assassin to start things off. Yasuni now is, well, he's webbed up into the air there. Akito dealing a bit of damage, but the Thrall just soaking up a fair bit as well, just protecting his master there.
And there's the ice mine.
Oof. I was about to say, who do you think will take this one out? Will Legacy be able to claw it back in?
Yeah, we're having quite an interesting standoff on both sides. It seems like they're catching each other at the same time. These escapes, man. They're on the Sin with 2 escapes and the Warlock with the way to reset his escapes. Now we're gonna see that legendary Sayuri gonna just resetting Akito again. He's going for his upset. You know, he's going after this Warlock right here. Yasuni might be in a bad situation. He doesn't have his thrall and he's already used time distortion. We say we get a call out from help from it's actually on the gunner side. Unfortunately, you know, Akito was able to get into stealth, can't really track him. The Ice Mine just whiffing over Yasuni. This is not a great situation for Akito. What is he going to be able to respond? Yasuni just got his thrall. His escape is down, though, and this could be bad from here. Here's the big combos, able to roll out of here, and he misses his leech, so we got to tag out, and now it's Aikini's turn to shine.
Yeah, through everything he had there, just missed it all. Alpha Call and Tombstone straight away, so we're about to see some big Mondo damage. Aikini, though, gets himself launched, and Akito just webs him up, so there goes the Tombstone, there goes the Alpha Call, and that is not good for Aikini. So at the moment, Hank, Legacy are doing what Guardian did to them, and they're looking good in the 3v3. After losing the first 2 rounds, the Fire... No. Go down. Now, Aikini comes back, forcing the tag out onto Akito, so he's still going to have those in the bank later on. The timer did its thing there. In comes Nisam and actually catches out Aikini, who doesn't have an escape left. He got the whip line, but there it is, goes straight up into the air. Another Skystone now comes across, and Nisam knows that he has no cooldowns, and of course, has to tag out.
Yeah, we see the instant persistent. He's pretty scared of that wall bang. Don't get caught in your own wall bang, my friend. All right, luckily Akito was going to tag in for that massive combo, and he's just with that wall bang. There's the little difference right there. He uses the throw to get him out of the Ember Stop, trying to die. There's that Fury buff, trying to just knock him out. And Nisam just like, all right, let me just hide in my shield. He's low on focus, though. Can't really respond. And there's the Execute, costing a quarter of his HP. The escape used by the Bears right now. There's the tag in for Sir, probably going for the reset. Now we're switching to Yasuni's turn right now. Very safe move from here. Yasuni's going to use this Sanctum and protect himself. Nisam has all of his skills back. Remember this. This is going to be a very pivoting moment. And now Yasuni's going to just try to damage him the same way as before, saying, hey, we're going to repeat these 1v1s. Protector's not quite caught by Nisam, and now he's going to eat some free damage from Yasuni. The Mighty Cleave drop, maybe trying to get the Warlock. And here's the knockback.
He was going for the thrall there, I thought, in the end there. Ooh, the Tether Blade comes through, and now Nisam has to take some damage. Yasuni, he hit the knock up. The Iron Plating was used just in the nick of time by Nisam. Now he needs to reset, rethink. He's got 20 seconds until he gets the mandatory tag out. The leech goes across. Will it connect? 15 seconds now. Wrath and Cleave coming through. That's the name of the game from Nisam. But the Rupture, Dragon, Helix combos from Yasuni, they're just landing here. Nisam, they're going to get saved by the bell in 3 seconds. Needs it and needs it now. Yasuni just opening with a lot of damage. In comes Sayuri. Out goes Yasuni. In comes Aikini.
Yeah, with very careful now, Yasuni can't tag out anymore, so if they bring him in on accident, it's big trouble. Yasuni's still holding on to those 3 tag-ins, and now Aikini's just kind of dancing around. He's going to aim for the Thrall a bit, and there's the Sanctum. Not really give a shot. There's the Execute, just murders the Thrall straight off of the bat.
Wow.
Theory out of the Sanctum, and this is big problems for the Warlock right here. He doesn't seem to have time distortion, and even if his Thrall's not here, Aikini goes to the side, and now it's the Bear's turn versus Akito. It's a very dangerous situation for Guardian, actually. They have not that many tag outs anymore, and the Bears is their only party item. They play very aggressive here, or they have to save very early. There's the escape used by Akito, gets the save stun, and we see the tab escape used by the Bears, and he doesn't have persistent. This could be a very bad Sin matchup right here.
Yep, the Bears at the disadvantage. Just that's why he's all the way over on that side of the arena. Just needs to recuperate those cooldowns. Fury will be back up very, very shortly, but the escape isn't. 20 seconds down now into retreat. Gets the call in from I think it was actually Aikini that came in there for the assist to help the Bears out. Sayuri now takes a little bit of damage, but he's got the Thrall there to protect him. Time Distortion now comes across. Will this be the ult? No, just not quite. And now Sayuri just needs to be careful. He's standing on top of an Ember Stomp, and in comes Yasuni. No, it's actually Sayuri. The Bears blinking, you'll miss it. Where did his HP go? Forcing out the Iron Plating. Sayuri, big damage in a very short space of time.
It seemed like the Bears was going to go in for the cheeky execute to finish Sayuri, but then Akito came into with the massive combo, and there's Akini also taking the receiving end of this thrall. Be very careful, guarding, because you're at not a great situation. Akini is stuck in there. He has to really show his gunner pride in this situation. Now it's Okito's turn to really go against the gunner, and this is a very bad situation because Akini doesn't have his escape. He'll have to rely on Alpha on his front, and he uses his ult to blind and knock Akito actually out of stealth. Gets a few shots off, floating in the air, but be careful because that dash can go way across the map. And there it is, with actually the other spec of his V instead of Bull Rush. And now Akito healing up with his Lotus Spear. Akini is going to have to dash around. He's out of hooks right now. He hasn't escaped. He rolls, and luckily the deadlock is in there. Akito missing his tech chase. Akito still has those flowers on. He's hiding and stuff. This is super scary for Akini. He has an escape. There's the wall bang. Are we going to get some massive return from this? And a launch into their Nissan gets killed instead for trying to tag in.
Poor Nissan, but that you could see straight away that the Bears was coming in on the assist there. Straight away he was going for the wallbang. Sends them launched. Now Akito comes in and he's just got Sayuri left. Nissan is down with 1 assist, 2 tag-ins. That's a lot of utility that Legacy just don't have here at the moment. Now Akini is in for Guardian. They need to make something happen here. Legacy, I thought, they were in control for most of this game. And now 10 seconds now ticking down, and then Akini will actually be able to, he'll have to tag out, but I feel like Legacy, they need to kill somebody, and they need to kill somebody now, and it's the Bears. He's their best shot.
Yeah, we see it right now on both sides. They can't really have any interferes. That wallbang's not going to do too much, but he does kind of scare Akito to use his scare. Akito healing up. Following knows he has 5 seconds left. The Bears most likely waiting for the chance to CC the moment the next person tags in. 3, 2, 1. Is he going to go for it? Persistence, but he misses the daze right there, and he's just trying to break through Sayuri's bastion right there. There's the cleave, the knee smacks Sayuri away from his thrall. And now up into the air is a poor war. The tag in, since we hit the 3-minute mark, are in. And the gunner is going to go in for massive damage. Hits the dazes on the Sayuri. Sayuri's safely here. And now the Bears are going to be careful because Akito is going to be in the back with this blue buff. 1 launch could be it for their entire team. And as we see the instant escape right there. Here's that launch right there. The damage is insane.
Oh, the tag! The tag that came in the end there. But Sayuri gets taken down. Now it's just Akito. He does get the frag onto the Bears, but it's 1v2 at the moment, and Legacy, they are on the back foot. We did have the 3-minute mark come across through all that. That's why more people were able to make their mark on this game. 1 minute and 30 seconds until Akini has to tag out. Akito's got absolutely nothing in the bank. No escapes, no tag-ins, no hope, and no HP. In fact, 2% HP left. And that should be the game. Akini now with the deadlock floating through the air. Akito out of stealth. He's got that smoke bomb, and it'll do its 2% bang. But at the moment, you just feel like it's just delaying the inevitable healer. Akito survived that combo with 2% HP. Now he goes in, but the deadlock is up, and Akini gets the counter and takes the game for Team Guardian.
That was their match point right there. I gotta say, like, amazing job by Yasuni. He saw that, you know, that one aerial, the Bears is dead. And before even the chance for Akito to jump in, blue buff, and frag things, Yasuni was actually there first, and he came back. He was like, sorry, you're going up. It's your turn now. 4-0. Very dominant, saying, hey, yesterday was a fluke. We're here now. This is all part of the plan. This is a conspiracy, man. They wanted to go to losers bracket. This was their plan from the beginning. Now we know. Now we know.
That was it. Take the easy road. Take the bullet. Take one for the rest of the team. And then just for the smooth sailing. That's it. Getting it out of the way early. They still alive though, Hank. And that is the most important thing. And unfortunately for Team Legacy, they are down and they are out. But it's not all terrible for them, Hank. Remember, they do still have that second opportunity at the second preliminary final in a couple of weeks' time. In fact, next month. So make sure that if you're watching the stream and thinking, hey, I want to get in on this. I want to have a crack at representing the region. And I want to have a shot at that big cash wad money prize you can see down there. There is that second tournament on the 3rd and 4th of August. And then the big one, LAN Finals, 25th of August, for all that sweet money that you can see there on screen. And Hank, I don't know about you, my man, but I cannot wait for the next couple months. In fact, the next month or so of Blade and Soul Esports is just going to absolutely pop off. But now we're going to go over back to the winners bracket, and this is where things start to get a little bit spicy. You've got the semi-finals and the finals matches, so the next 2 games are going to be the sets of 8, first to 6 points. So we've got the 2 1v1s to start things off, and then a 3v3, followed by another 2 1v1s, then another 3v3. So quick maths, you need 6 points to walk away with that victory. Hank, if you're a betting man, who do you think is going to take this next game between Happy and Bag T?
If we're going through the record, and this is going to be an interesting number. So you see, Bag T actually has pretty close to an ace so far in this tournament. Haven't lost once, and every win they did, it was a dominant 4-0 victory. So Bag T's got an amazing momentum. Versus Happy, you know, they started off with their 4-0, lost one to Legacy. You know, that's just statistically, you're not clean. But I have, you know, I hear from Happy, team captain Zach. He's telling me like, oh, this is gonna be the easy win. This is what he's telling me personally. I don't know how that's gonna be. You better show me a clean, what is it, 6-0 if you want to say that, my friend. But this is intense.
This game, Hank. This game. Sorry to cut you off. This game will actually decide who is going to be our first representative.
Mm-hmm.
So who is going to go to the? So not representative. Who's going to go to the UK to play off for a representative spot? So not only is it a qualification, Hank, it's money.
Oh yeah, this is the big thing, because if you win this, at minimum you get $5,000. Like that's for losing when you go to the UK. That's phenomenal. That's why these are the big stakes right here, and this is kind of the thing where I'm kind of worried about the nerves. All right, Happy has been in this situation so many times. It's always been money on the line for them. You know, this is part of what they've been. Versus Bag T, this is their first kind of like, this is the closest that they can get to just, you know, their cash prize, to that claiming stage. You know, it's a pretty intense setup. But we see the class comps right there, Duck Balls on the famous Destroyer, Zach Warlock most likely in the 3v3s, and his Summoner in the 1v1s. Maybe they'll change it up. Virus the Sin, and Oxtra, the other Summoner, you know, very proud class right there. Poharan, the Gunner, the known one besides Aikini for just that explosive gameplay, and Satanical, the all-around Blade Dancer, very supportive, all very secure, and just that strong party iframe for that team.
Just having a look at the compositions here, they're very different. Normally we see similar compositions for teams, especially when we get down to the pointy end of the competition. When we get to the finals, Hank, you often see very meta-style compositions. Bag T are very different to Happy. Happy, you've got the Destroyer, the Assassin, and then either the Summoner or the Warlock. And over on the other side, there's just variety. There's so much more. I mean, the Gunner from Poan is really the one that stands out to me here. That could really be the thorn in Happy's side. Having said that, though, I mean, Happy have had a pretty cruisy run through the tournament so far. I believe. Sorry, Bag T.
Yeah.
Bag T are yet to drop a round. So this could be interesting.
Yeah, this is the real one. And this, we call this the official game, the big one. Because again, you see the 1v1s right there up on the top, that left side, whichever it is. It'll be 4 1v1s, and only one player is allowed to be sent out twice. In which case, we actually do have the first match. It'll be Duck Balls the Destroyer versus BD Satanical. And I hear this often. The BDs do not have fun with this matchup. Destroyers have just amazing days. Just ignore spin. That being said, maybe the new wind build BD might possibly make a change for this. But again, it is Duck Balls, and that's not saying no credit to Satanical, but you're going up a steep slope.
So remember, first 6 points. So all you need to do is win the first 5 matches in a row. No big deal, right? Get it done. Let's go.
You gotta win. That's all you gotta do.
We just need to score more points. Happy versus Bag T, 0-0 to start things off. It is a first series in the first round in this 8 series. Let's go. Destroyer versus BD to start things off. You've spoken a lot about the new wind build Blade Dancer. Let's see if Duck Balls is ready. Ember Stomp goes in, as does the Cleave, but not as much damage as he would have liked. Now, Satanical's back on top here. He's got nothing. So much damage coming out. And, well, no escape was used in the end there. It's still all
We see that wind build right there, that chunking damage, the dual strike stun into the multi-slice. Very cheeky. Unfortunate for Satanical, you can't just win just like that. Satanical's out of escape, and Duck just says, no, thank you. He runs out of posts, actually, not able to finish his combo. Or is he just toying with this food? Duck, what are you doing? This is for money. Gets hit by the lightning strike, hits CC, but Duck is not having any of it. Uses the red spin, and now Satanico's healing up again. We're talking about that BD double heal now with their Malice Storm and their Z changes. Gets the daze, doesn't quite tech chase it, and Satanico wasn't able to get the stun because of the Ember stuff. It gets rammed into the knockdown right there. Rolls back. Finally, a grab was used. And Duck is just showing, here's the grab. It might be Satanico's pace now.
Oh no!
That wind slash right there, just chunking so much damage from Duck.
How is Satanical still alive here? I swear to God there was nothing left in that HP meter. Now he's back in this game and almost pulls it back, but Duck Balls just showing his class in the end there with 33% HP, walking away with the victory. Satanical lasted a lot longer in that fight than I believe he should have, but you called it. No focus. I don't think he was able to finish it off there.
Yeah, I was like, he's just one right click away, and maybe it just didn't come out. Out of day, the Satanical being very creative, opting instead of using his 2 for ACC, it's pure damage. We saw him just throw Duck Balls at the wall and immediately follows up with that damaging, that PvE damage. And there's nothing you can do. You're stuck in that wall bang animation. He just lost like 10 to 20% depending on crit. Just like that. And unfortunately for Satanical, he waited a bit. He had his escape. He had his escape at the end. Like, roll whatever clip you want. He had his escape. But he was waiting for Duck the combos to hit the daze. But he said, you know what? I have Smash Up. I have this 45 second. This axe goes through your body. Your HP goes to 0. I win.
The cleave to win strats. I mean, the Destroyer, that's what they're about. You get that knockdown, especially when Ember Stomp is up. And if you've got no escapes like Satanical had there, just, you know, was unable to use them. I mean, it's a bad place to be in. You got to really feel for the Blade Dancer. But it's one round up now for Team Happy. First to 6, remember, will net you the victory. The 1v1s are worth 1 point. The 3v3s are worth 2. Win the first 5 games in a row in this series. You win, Hank. Simple as that.
Just like that. And now we have upcoming the next lineup, Zach versus Pohan. Zach, it will be an easy game, as you said, because you're already in the air. You've lost half your HP. Zach, was all that talk for nothing? Poe getting a good advantage right here. Zach just healing immensely already. I think he's opting for a different True Friend instead of the 5-hit iframe. I could be wrong. And there's the freebie. Poe, you're in the air too long. We talked about this. Please don't get the cat unable to get the stun, and the cat's almost dead. The cat actually dies, it seems, and Zach seems he cannot win from here. So much for all that talk. The escape gets used, the root is there, but you have to have the chance to summon your cat right there. Poe is just standing, letting him summon his cat. Is this some sort of taunt right here? Because Zach, just hiding in his pedal storm, was able to summon his cat. Poe just letting that happen. This is very bad. There goes all that skill. You already lost Tombstone. But maybe he's just being a little considerate, because look how much damage he's still able to dish out. They're hiding, they're going back. Poe does not have Tombstone up. He doesn't have escape. Alpha won't be up, and Zach is just chasing and following him with the roots. SS is used. Poe gets another launch in the air, but the cat is chasing over and over. Zach just healing immensely, and these bees just following him around like honey.
He's got a hornet's nest in that thing at the moment. You said Pohan, that's where he struggles sometimes, is he stays way too long up in the air. But I've got to say, I want to give a big sportsmanship pat on the back to Pohan, who's now probably going to lose this game, and is going to lose this game because he let Zach summon his cat again.
Yeah, definitely a worrisome tactic. He could have been out of CC. After all, Zach was hiding in Pedal Storm. You're prevented from any ranged attacks, so that means you can't really right-click. But I would like to think, you know, there are other options Gunner has. You have Tripwire, you have Bull Rush. There
were options he could have taken there.
So I don't know what was going on behind the scene. Maybe this is what Zach meant by easy game. You know, he realizes, you know, Poe can't even stop me from summoning my cat. Maybe that's the thing. Regardless, get to the nitty-gritty part, the 3v3s. Bag T actually taking their first 2 losses in terms of rounds this entire tournament. I wonder how that must feel for them. Again, the nerves might be getting to them. These aren't too much of what we call veteran players, except for Satanical having the most experience as a regional player before.
Yeah, Pohan's turned up consistently to a lot of tournaments, though. You know, he's turned up to official tournaments, he's turned up to Legion tournaments, he's, you know, he's putting in the hours, putting in the effort, and is one of the, I don't want to say the few players, but one of the select players that you see in the scene that actually takes his game and works on it consistently. So that's where I value Prohan, and Zach Duckballs and Boris. They all know they're good. They are good, and they know they're good. They know that they don't need to work too hard because they're basically at the top of their game. They are coming off a victory from the Rumble in the Realm as generic name 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I thank God they changed that name. But you know what I'm saying? They're veterans. They're good. They know they're good. They don't have to practice as hard. Whereas Bag T, they do. And now they're already 2 points down in this series of 8, first to 6. They are going to have to pull their finger out, put the pedal to the metal, and just go hard from here on out.
Yeah, and just a reminder, this isn't it like before. This isn't considered even match point yet. We have a long way to go. The score is only 2-0. It's first 2-6 right there. The 1v1s are only 1 point, and 3v3s are 2 points. What this does mean, though, the big sweep would mean, for some reason, Happy wins every single 1v1 and the next 3v3 coming up, which is very difficult. So Bagty has a good opportunity. That being said, we talk about Happy being like that top team. But the problem with being at the top, there's only one way to go from there, and that's down. And we don't want to see Happy, of course, just losing for no reason. We want Bag T. You have to rise up, all right? You have your opportunity. It's in front of you. Take the 3v3. If you don't win the 3v3, you win the 1v1. If you don't win the 1v1, well, you have one more 1v1 to try. But the point is you have to win. It's just so easy. You just have to win. Score more points.
Just score more points, man. That's the crux of any sporting. Now, will they be able to do it? That is the question, though. Happy versus Bag T. Happy currently with the round advantage. Let's go the first 3v3 of potentially the first few in this series, this best of 8 series already. Virus is just taking the damage from the cat. The call comes in, and that will be gunner damage for days. Poan just lathering it out here at the moment.
And those Gunner and Bees right there. Virus taking so much damage. He's less than 50%. But Oxtra isn't even having that well of a good time either. The easy combo. And we see that Satanical's in the wrong build. He's in that damaging wind build made for tagging in. This is very bad for Satanical. That because if they kill Virus, then I guess it doesn't really matter. Satanical, what are you doing? You're in the wrong spec. Perhaps just with the... There you go. There's the tag out. Now they're probably in a better position. Pohan is probably in the correct spec. Virus is actually low HP. A single launch could change it. That's why we have Zach going in for his match again, saying, hey, Poe, you remember me? Let's try this again.
He wants another round. So, Poan, who was well in the driver's seat of that previous game, now is going to get absolutely deleted here on the battlefield. And now 25% HP. The Power Pounds came across, caught him out. And now the tag and assist was too strong, and Poan, with less than a quarter HP, is just left hemorrhaging all over the arena. The Alpha Call comes out, 20% HP. Will actually be able to get the assist coming in here from, it was Satanical that came in for the assist. But Happy, they're well in control here at the moment. Zach has got a minute before he has to tag out. Now he has to mirror match up against Oxtra, and this is probably where he excels the most.
And we see now they're both in that summoner mirror match. Hopefully no one puts to sleep again, please. But I think Happy's in a pretty good situation because we see on Bag T they used a lot of tag outs. As I'm saying, that Zach is in the air, but he's already into the pedal storm, so everything is safe for him. So also just kind of getting these damage, but he's not really doing too much. Okay, maybe a little bit. This is nothing compared to what a summoner can feel. You know what? Oxtra is returning back. And there's the double cat hammer. The power pounds gets used by Zach. Putting Oxtra in the corner. Are they going to be able to finish him off? And no, they off the switch. And now Satanical by himself again with very low teammates. But what is this? Zach is deleted by the wind build.
Wow. Zach is going to be fuming at that. He dies with 2 assists, 2 tags in the back pocket, and Bag T all of a sudden find themselves with the advantage here. Poan, who you thought was surely going to die in that previous engage, is still alive. Virus has little to no HP, and a slight miscalculation from Team Happy is going to cost them here. Are they just throwing right now? Duckballs loses 60% of HP to the combination of Poan and Oxtra. This is not good at all. He's got no cooldowns, has to go all the way back, just create distance here. What is happening, Hank?
I think this is the case of overconfidence. Zach, it's not an easy win, my friend. But we still have Duck and Virus. They're on very low HP, and we see that Oxtra was able to heal Poe and himself to significant levels. This is looking very deep or bleak for Happy right now. Where they with the Virus, you play very well, but are you good enough for this 2v3? All right, we see Poe gets the daze, misses his instant launch. That's very good for Virus' side. And more CCs are wasted, so Virus actually has a pretty good advantage because now I believe Poe has no CCs left except for Tripwire, which is too slow. Hits into the counter, lucky for him. And so he's able to Sky Stone away. Virus is hiding the stone, but not really catching into him.
Bit of a wasted Firefall coming across there as well. Now Pohan taking a bit of damage. If Virus can actually get himself a kill here, it will be absolutely monstrous for Happy's morale and will get them back into this game. But the HP is sitting pretty good at the moment for the Bag T lads because they've got that summoner Oxtra. Happy don't have their summoner. Zach, he's forced to watch from the sidelines just in anguish as his team just comes up against this onslaught of Bag T. It is now 10 seconds until Pohan will have to tag out. Firefall comes across, tries to catch out Virus. Will he be able to get the kill before he goes out? A parting gift? No, not quite. Oxtra comes back in. Virus, though, delaying the inevitable here. 5% gets away just in the nick of time.
Just how much HP is that? So Duck is gonna have to do his one-man army. Oxtra has his ult right now, so we're getting to more interesting play. Seems like Duck's trying to get as much healing, and there's the ult. Is he gonna do the party time? You can't. Daze a spinning character though. Some Oxtra knows this, so he's gonna make distance. The true friend is protecting him, and there's the execute. We see that Duckball is actually not in the correct build. He's in the Shadow DPS build, so he's gonna have a horrible time right here. He has his ult. Is he just gonna fire it willy-nilly? And we see that now is the switch for Virus. Uses the C-stun immediately. You have 15% HP. How are you going to live through this, Virus? You got to play super careful across the map. And it looks like Virus is in the incorrect build, too. He doesn't have his flower. He uses his blue buff right there for some HP, but it's not enough to fight a summoner dot damage.
So there's the ult coming across there from the Destroyer as well. Oxtra is just forced to take it, but now there's the Giga Sword coming out there from Satanical in on the assist. Didn't actually catch Duck Balls at all. Now, was that an Entangle? Yeah, we got them getting the knockdown there. Duck Balls, 30% HP. Can do it. Needs a miracle, taking a fair bit of damage. Dishing out even more. There it is. He's going to get the kill onto Oxtra. No, 1%! Survives, manages to get away, and now could this be the turning point? Oxtra 7%, 3%, Nut gets taken down, so Duckballs gets one, but is unable to deal with Pohan, who comes straight in, blows deadlock, and just face rolls the keyboard for the victory.
Congratulations to
happened,
Bag T. They did great though, Bag T. But gotta say, Happy, you did not play your best. You let that go from your hands. You know, we saw that you had a deciding factor. You just got cocky. You got arrogant to the point where you lost Zach early on, and Bag T prioritized. They hunted it down. They got so much damage off. They wrecked Duck. He was near most of his HP. One combo. One tagging combo put him to 20% on a Destroyer with 48,000 HP. That's not okay. That is not okay.
Yep, and well, they just let the ball drop a little bit there. Like you said, the tag in from Zach and then Virus as well. Both of those guys were out on the field at the same time. Both took a lot of damage. So all it takes is just one slight miscalculation. But look, they're not that bad. Look, they are one of the best. It's a slip up. We all slip up. I know, you know, we trip over our own shoes sometimes, Hank. That's what happened to Happy. They're going to come back stronger. They've got 2 more 1v1s and then more 3v3s after that. So it's not going to be a clean sweep. But if any team is able to show their experience and come through stronger, it is these guys. So keep your eyes on them. As we tick down to the next game, expect Happy to come out with a brand new fire. Zach, I know the man. He's not going to take that lightly.
Yeah.
He's going to come out and do nothing but want to make amends.
Yeah, so up next we have Virus on his Sin versus Oxtra, the Summoner right here. And as we've seen before, the Sins so far who have been going against Summoners have just had a blast. This is a very difficult matchup for the Summoner side. It was any different right here. Oxtra rushing into Virus and starts off with the Doom and Bloom and the Snare. And Virus just going to use this way to get stealth, but the Doom and Bloom kind of procs him out, gets the Party Dandelion, or the Decoy, because it's the Sin, knocks himself out of stealth, and he gets caught into the aerial, and Virus already taking a good chunk of damage. You know, we see that he's in Earth Field, so not too much aerial damage. The knockdown in the web, and now Virus is just trying to catch momentum, and just haven't been used. There's some more knockdowns onto the Poison Breath, healing Virus a good chunk, and now we see Oxtra having to use his Decoy himself. Launched into the air again. There's no web, so this is going to be just Virus get power pounds. And there's the C-stun, and Oxtra finally uses Escape. Virus uses Escape, but Virus still has his flower. The cat is actually very low, less than 50%, so they both have to be very careful on how they want to approach from here.
Lots of bombards too, but there's no cooldowns on the side of Oxtra, no retreats. Even power pounce was used, so now that'll just allow Virus to really unload if he decides to here. There's still no retreats on the side of Oxtra, but he's dealing some damage here at the moment. The Sunflower getting it done, but that is a fantastic fire mine now into the bombard combo, and no, Oxtra just does not have anything to do with this close shave. The cat comes through just in the nick of time. 9% now. Oxtra sitting back and finally gets taken down by the Poison Breath Bombard combo. Happy they're back on the bandwagon, Hank.
There we go. There we go. We see that powerful bombard build hitting both the summoner and the cat. It's like playing the piano with your feet if you're the summoner in this case. You got to take care of both. You got to make sure your cat doesn't make the Sin go back into stealth. And Oxtra doing a very good job. Had this Virus on the ropes, but again, it's a very difficult setup, especially with that Poison Breath also giving a good chunk of healing and damage.
So another 1v1 just on the other side of this. But Hank, they're eking closer to the points now. All they need to do is take the next 2 rounds. So this 1v1 and the next 3v3, that equals 6 points. And that also equals qualification for finals, qualification for money, and a chance at representing the North America region at Worlds against, all those other regions, against the likes of Japan, against Taiwan, against the Korean overlords. It's going to be one hell of an experience. And you can see there on screen, 21,500 V1s is a lot of money for playing some Blade and Soul. But happy they've got this next 1v1 coming across now. So it should be Duck Balls going up against Pohan, I believe, set number 5. Yeah, so there we go. We're going to have a Destroyer versus Gunner matchup here. What do we expect to see?
So the Destroyer side, the big thing they have to take care of, not giving away too much free damage. The big thing is they have to spin. All right, that makes them kind of sluggish. And they can't run deflect spin because, as you can see, when Poron uses Deadlock, he can just do free damage. So he's got to run the blue spin. There's going to be no deflect. And it's going to be really hard to approach a Gunner because none of the charges on a Destroyer, like none of their approach skills, are instant. So the only thing they can do is guard break knee, which relies on Poe just giving the shield out. So we got to see how Duck kind of deals with these factors. They're not going to be fun for the Destroyer side. As we say that,
we know Poe is a guy who likes to stay in the air a little bit, and against a Destroyer, you can afford to do that a little bit more than against say the Warlock or somebody like that. So let's see if he goes back into his old tactics already. Deadlock comes across and into the Firefall combo, literally unloads now. But Duck Balls, he's okay. He's the big beefy Destroyer, and just taking the words right out of your mouth, Hank. He is spinning.
Yeah, definitely. And he did catch Poe just right out of the Sky Stone, which is very good. Now here's the hard part, all right? We have both of the escapes used by Duck. Alpha Call escapes used by Poe, so now both sides have no escapes. It's all about hook management for here, and can Duck finish it off right here. There's no escapes besides Afro for Poe, but we don't know if Duck has all of his skills up. And you see the Stone Shield, there's that massive, mighty cleave damage, and the charge.
Oh, good night! Whew, good night, Poan! He thought he was sitting pretty there. 80% HP. Yeah, I'm sweet. Got a couple hooks. Yeah, laughing. What he didn't have was the escapes and no way to get out of that Ember Stomp. No way to get out of that wedge after wedge. And it was a slow, painful, crushing death. And Poan just had to sit there and experience it. So now that puts Happy on with a match point. But the good news for Bag T is that the only game that they've been able to pick up has been a 3v3, Hank, and guess what's coming up next? Another 3v3. Oh, man. Oh, baby.
That being said, let's remind you about these brackets. This is, of course, our first 8 set of the day, and this is for your spot going to UK Happy versus Bag T. Whoever, let's say if they do lose this, will be going against Guardian, which won't be an easy match for either team. Again, doing yet another 8 set for the second slot to go to UK to represent possibly NA for the World Champs. But let's go to the matches. The quick math for you right there. We have a score of 4-2, meaning they only need one more two-point game, which is these 3v3s for Happy side. But that doesn't mean it's over for, well, I mean, if they lose this, it is over. But Bag T still has a chance to turn around. They just have to do the very painful climb of 2 consecutive 3v3 wins.
Yeah, it's hard mode for them at the moment, but it is not impossible, and that is what we need to underline here. And the other thing we need to underline is, should Should they lose, it is loser's bracket, and then there is the second chance. So there's plenty of safety nets that are around for teams at this stage of the competition, Hank. So it's not all bad should you lose. But the 3v3s we touched on, that is where Bag T are far better. I mean, all you need to do is look at the scoreboard just to see that the sheer maths are right there. 3v3, the only one that Bag T were able to take off of Team Happy. Now, granted, you could argue that Happy had a slight misstep, a slight miscalculation. It happens to the best of us. I mean, Happy, you could probably fairly say they are the best of us in this region at the moment. It happened to them. They're not going to let it happen again. They learned their lessons, and Zach, like we were saying, he's not going to get caught. No, you fooled me once. What is it? Shame on me if you fool me once. Shame on you. Shame on you, you fool me once. Shame on me, you fool me twice. He's not going to let it happen again.
Yeah. But then they have to watch. I think they're a little surprised by the wind beating in this case. We see Satanical opting for some free damage. All right. What his skill basically does is press one button, lose 25% HP, and they have to watch out for that. They fall in it for a little. We have Virus versus Poe against Sin versus Gunner. And we see the instant start from Virus already using the tab swap into the stun. Poe has to use his escape, using his deadlock. Probably will have to Skystone soon, and then followed by an Alpha Call the moment he touches the floor. I am wrong, but there's the Alpha Call. He's gonna have to escape right now. But can you escape from this massive execute damage?
The only way you are escaping that is in a body bag or a tag out, and that's exactly what happened there. Tagging out with less than 10% HP, much better than the former option there. But Bag T already finding themselves on the back foot. Now this is unfamiliar for them. Previous game they were the one that got the cheeky frag early on. Now it's Poan, their #1 damage dealer, their #1 performer so far, it must be arguably to say, is now forced back to watch and licking his wounds.
Yeah, but lucky for Poe, he came in during the Pedal Storm deadlock, got a decent amount of healing, I'll say. Just enough not to be, like, dead meat. But here we have Virus playing so well in this matchup right here, controlling it completely. Making so much distance, going back from the stealth. Oxford just trying to make the... And now they have to switch back to Satanical. And let's see if he's ready to deal with Virus having his stealth back up. And like I said, or as I say that, he has no more escapes. And we're going to Summoner versus BD matchup now.
Yep, Satanical coming back in up against Zach. The Sunflower is finding value straight away. Satanical, though, really needs to close the distance now. There it is, into the Vortex, but lots of damage coming his way. How about the sustain coming across there from Zach? Now, Oxtra versus Zach. Summoner versus Summoner. Sleep versus Sleep. Cat versus Cat. Who's going to take this one out? Now, Zach taking some damage to start things off. Lots of Sunflowers coming out from the side of Oxtra. Zach says, I am done with this. Brings in Duck Balls now.
And Duck not quite getting the geometry of a wall bang. You're gonna have to go back to high school for that, but that's alright. This isn't about math. This is about how much damage you get. The blue buff going in from Virus, trying to kill the summoner, or at least the cat. Doesn't get too much, but does put the cat at half. But you know the summoner can heal that pretty easily. These tags are gonna be used onto Bag T side. This is kind of bad for Oxtra because he has all of his interferes still, and he does not need to die right now. Doing pretty well, just fending off Duck Balls and all this, but now it's Virus's turn. He loves just playing around. Look at that landmine right there. Balls by the stun, the Cyclone sweep right there. And it's so hard for Poe. He barely gets him in there, but now Virus had to use escape. He's actually not able to use his flower. There's that windmill damage. Here we go. You have to be very careful, Virus. You don't want to die out like last time. Your HP is low. Now we have Zach back into the game versus Satanical, running that very scary PvE windmill.
If Duck Balls didn't come in there for the save, you could have just said, see you later, Virus. That was all Duck coming in with the assist there. Now, Satanical has to take the damage, doesn't have the assist, has the Flock of Blades, but that's about it. 22% HP, now hits the deck, has to tag out, or would surely meet certain death. Does death. Hey, look, it's Pohan. He's actually got a few bandages on. He's come back. The band-aids are on the fingers and deals the damage and says, hey, you know what? It's my turn to shine. Zach and Virus now so low. Duck Balls has to come back in, and Bag T are all, wow, they're just bringing this one back.
We see that Poe is now out of escapes and out of Alpha Call. Unfortunately, Virus got hit by the Daze. Are you going to be able to capitalize on this, Virus? You don't have any escapes. You don't have any more tagging. You got to get out. And now we have Duck just eating so much free damage right there. This is a pretty scary situation for both sides, I would say. You have very low HP, and the only interferes are from summoners. How do you want to use it? You want to heal or damage? Poe has no escape still, but I don't know if Duck knows that. Duck has no escape. I don't know if Poe knows that. So we got an interesting situation.
Ooh, deadlock into the Skystone now, being utilized by Pohan, but Duck Balls having absolutely none of it. He's just spinning. Solar will come out now from Pohan for a little bit of damage, but Duck Balls is happy to sit back there. The Haze Bomb will actually connect, and now Zach comes in with the assist just to give Duck Balls a little bit of a helping hand there. The Ember Stop now will go down. Alpha Call used by Pohan, hooks himself away. Still has got a couple hooks available, but did actually use Tab Escape. Duck Balls was sitting in the Iron Shield, actually goes for the Ram, and this was where Duck Balls really needs to be careful, because straight away Pohan is just sticking the hand out, tags in the, it looks like Oxtra that came into the assist there, and was able to deal a fair bit of damage. 4 seconds, sorry, make it 7 seconds until Pohan has to tag back out, and for a man who was beaten to a bloody pulp in the opening seconds of this game, he's definitely redeemed himself.
Yeah, we have the situation now. Virus is left out. He can't get out, but he'll have all of his skills trying to heal up just a little bit. That smoke giving him a bit of HP. The Lotus Sphere giving him HP. And we see the little combo onto the Summoner just for stealth. And we see the party time. So now Virus has to back up. And by the time he gets back, his stealth might not be back anymore. Gotta be very careful with Daniel. You don't want to hit into that smoke campus. As I said, the Viper Fang got interrupted by the cat. And there goes the Sin ult just disappear. The Poison Breath counting some damage. The Summoners tag in here to stay. The Virus healing so much. Oxtra, you're hitting into the Petal Storm, my friend. And then we have an issue right here. Virus healed quite a bit of HP, about 10% or so. And that's a lot for a Sin.
Remember, this is game point for Happy. And they looked like they were struggling a little bit there. Hank, this is a seesaw game. This is so back and forth. I really don't know if this goes to calculation. Who's going to take this one? The heals are so good. He's coming out there. Just from Oxtra, the cheeky ones. It was a Thorn Strike, sorry, but the heals are coming through yet again. Virus is going to sit back. He needs to recuperate these escapes. Now, Stealth is up. Retreat is up. Still 33 seconds away from Lotus. He needs to be mindful of that one into Stealth now. Tries to close the distance there onto Oxtra. They need to get a frag here onto Satanical. He's their best bet at the moment. He won't be coming in for any assists, and for another minute or so, there's the Execute assist coming in from Duck Balls, and Oxtra just has to sit back and take it now into the red spin, hunting for that wallbang. Doesn't find it in the end. Virus is going to tag out. Zach's going to come back in. Oxtra is not far behind, so we're going to have eventually Summoner Zach versus Gunner Pohan in about 3 seconds time, Hank.
Yeah, and this is probably a situation that we're looking for. Zach can probably do pretty well against the Gunner. The immediate escape already used by Pohan. He tries to use the flash, and we see the party time gonna get him the kill on Pohan. He's almost dead, but luckily for him, not enough damage right here. Now we see another escape used by Poe. That's all of his escapes. Now he's got to be very careful. His hooks are the only going to save him. But the Summoner has so much damage, and Zach has no escapes. The Skystone is probably the best hope for Poe. He's making sure that he's doing very well. He's going to heal up because this is the advantage of the Summoner. The longer the game, the more they can heal. The stun hits Zach, and now he's going to take so much damage. He's down to 35%, and Pohan running up to his Skystone, taking some safety measures, trying not to get shot too much. And we see the assist from Satanical being used pretty early, I would say. And it was the Wind Slash trying to go in. The cat's almost dead. You have to be very careful, Zach. I don't know if Poe will let you summon your cat again this time. And you're going to hide in your Petal Storms.
Pohan now 15% HP, slowly getting heals coming across, but that's going to be the frag. Oxtra not able to assist enough. Satanical is come back in. He had very little HP, and Bag T have been doing it tough. They've been sitting on the bench, just bandaging themselves up, and then coming back in to a world of pain. Pohan, he is now down and out. Satanical, very, very close. The Giga Sword comes through. Doesn't actually collect anybody, though. Zach needs to be careful. 10 seconds until he tags out. 2% HP left on Satanical. The cat, yes, finally gets the kill. Oxtra now, the only one left for Bag T, and Happy, they've got 1 kill standing between them and qualifying for LAN finals.
And Virus is probably trying to play very calm, collected, trying to get this finish onto the Summoner. Probably mad that his Viper Fang got canceled last time, but you know what? He's probably still going to play very well because this isn't a game about emotion, it's about skill, and he gets the catch from the dagger from there, and this should be the large finish after using an escape. And we see that it's actually, is it Duck that's going to Zach trying to go in for the save and the experience. And look how much damage Oxtra is taking. He's down to 30%. He's healing so much. Duck is in here too, guys. You're using all of your assists pretty early. Pretty confident that Virus can finish it off. As I said, that Virus is in the air. Almost got tech chased by the Summoner. and he's down to 10, 11, 8% HP. The DOTs might just kill Virus here.
Oh, it did. It was the Sunflower that actually secured the victory in the end there. So Oxtra gets 1, and now he needs 2 more. There's only a minute left though, so I don't know how he's going to go about this. So Zach now versus Oxtra, Summoner versus Summoner. The Cats are just going toe to toe. Meanwhile, the Summoners themselves are just getting dirty. Zach though taking a fair bit of damage, narrowly manages to get away. He has nothing but power pounds left. Oxtra still has retreat. There's just so much going on screen at the moment. Zach, he needs to round this game out, and looks like both the pouncers at exactly the same time again. What is happening?
Onto
Did it happen again?
Please!
It happened again!
And there's the finish. Okay.
Whew, man. Come on! Come on, man. 2 days in a row, both of the summoners sleeping each other. What is this clown fiesta, man?
It's the specialties of rule when you have 2 summoners at the same time, you have to sleep each other. All right, jokes aside, though, congratulations. Happy 6-2. Bag of tea, don't go anywhere yet, because you still have 1 more try. You're going against Guardian in the loser bracket for that spot again to win that big prize pool at the UK.
Excellent. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we are going to do is we're going to take a 5-minute break. And on the other side, we will be having that final match. And you can see there it is going to be Bagged Tea versus Guardian. Bagged Tea, remember, up until this point, didn't actually lose a game. So maybe they've just had a big Friday night. Maybe they're a little bit seedy. But your first qualification for the LAN finals will be Team Happy. They're home, they're hosed, they're safe. So stay with us, ladies and gents. We're going to take a very short break. And just on the other side, we will have our second LAN qualification for the North American region.
Hello and welcome to the Blade and Soul North American.
You've been playing and practicing and you've done all this before.
Once you're sitting there, just zone in on the game, spar against all the great Blade and Soul players.
It's really an awesome experience. Seeing how we stack up against these people we've been watching for almost 2 years.
We all try to help each other improve, help our friends improve.
There's a lot of talent that aren't motivated to compete in tournaments. Can definitely be competition going forward.
For people coming in, I think it's just a matter of working on what they can do and improve that, but also capitalize on what they can do so that they can succeed.
See the disappointment on Zach's face right there.
Team synergy is the biggest element. Good team comp.
Find teammates and practice a lot.
NA's going for gold this year. Be a part of it.
To those of you who are active in the PvP scene now, to those of you who this is the first time playing, one day you may see yourself up on this stage, competing to represent territories around the world.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to day 2 of the North American Preliminary World Championship qualifiers here. You are on the Blade and Soul Twitch channel. Hope you are having a fantastic weekend. Hope everything on screen today has been in tip-top shape, because I'm having a great time. My name's Kit Fox. I know my co-caster Hank has been having a great time as well, and you know who else is? Team Happy. Team Happy will indeed be very happy after they've qualified for the LAN finals. So what that means is Happy are now guaranteed money, and that is not too bad at all. But who will be joining them? You can see there on screen now, minimum $5,000. Congratulations to Team Happy, but who will be joining them? We currently have 3, 2 from EU, 1 from NA, Goblin Spiders, Team Buy, and now Team Happy. Who is going to take that final coveted 4th spot? It's so hard for me to choose someone here, Hank. Bag T and Team Guardian. Guardian they started off very shaky on day 1, but now into day 2, you can almost barely fault their gameplay. I mean, they're down in the losers bracket. They had a 3-1 victory over Karma, a 4-0 victory over the team that knocked them down into the losers bracket, Legacy. They are like a bull seeing red at the moment, Hank. There is no stopping the Guardian train.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty good matchup. We have Bag T. You know, at first they were the ace. Like they haven't lost a single round even until, you know, Happy. But now there's second chance. And you know what? They might not have gone against Guardian so far in the bracket. So it'll be something new. So both sides, though, I'm at my wit's end. I don't know what to choose or to root for, because these are both exceptional playing teams with unique characters. And we have just different styles of gameplay. We have Bag T, you know, enough is said about it. They have that very highlight gunner type style versus we have Guardian 2, who also does have their own gunner, but you know, it almost seems like they don't use them as Poharon gets used. Poharon using that almost like a glass can. It's like, hey, someone needs to be dead every time you're out. Versus Aikini, you know, it's slowly by slowly they're just chipping away like the shores along the cliff. That being said, there you have the lineup. We have Bag T's very static roster of Oxtra the Summoner, Poharon the Gunner, Satanical the BD. And here's the little mix-up. You have the Bears the Sin and Destroyer for 3v3s, Aikini the Warlock, Soul Fighter Gunner, which we haven't seen the Soul Fighter yet, and Yasuni the Warlock right there.
So no brainer what Yasuni's going to play. Some can call him a one trick. I just called him pretty damn good. And then you've got Aikini, who has got 3 that are just waiting to pull out there. Like we were talking about yesterday, the secret menu stuff, that's his gunner. It's not listed there. So you know when it comes out, it is just going to be absolutely dynamite. He has used that a lot more than the Soul Fighter. I think you're correct in saying I don't think we've seen his Soul Fighter. We have seen a Soul Fighter,
yes,
but it didn't go so well. Meanwhile, back to Bag T and Guardian. It's 1st to 6, Hank. This is it. Who is going to be taking the final spot for now in the first week of competitions here at that LAN competition? Will it be Bag T? Will it be Guardian? It's 1st to 6. Look, it's so hard to split them here, but I'm really liking Guardian at the moment.
Guardian, not even the underdog. They're like a very consistent team. We've seen them around again. that one mishap where they did get knocked out. But hey, they took it back. They're like, hey, you guys knocked us out into losers. We're going to knock you out of this whole tournament. That kind of revenge, 4-0 clean victory. But enough about what's in the past. Let's talk about what's coming up next. Our very first game is going to be Oxtra versus Aikini. As you can guess, Oxtra will be on the Summoner. Aikini, which is hard to guess sometimes, he will be on his Warlock. And I'm looking forward to this match right here.
Yeah, let's get it on. Bagtee versus Guardian. This is for the final spot of week 1 at the Lands. Don't forget there is that secondary competition, but we'll get to that a little bit later. One of these two teams won't even need to stress about that as the 3 minutes ticks down there in the first 1v1 Summoner versus Warlock. Sanctum goes in as well as the time distortion. Both at the moment, teams just sizing each other up. Oxtra, though, gets launched. So well done there from Aikini to read that one and just unloads with the dimensional salvos and Dragon Helixes. Now the cat comes in, the summons are out, the Thrall of the cat just going head. That's a second launch, and that will be game. The escapes were used, and Oxtra just up creek without a paddle there. Well, more up in the air with no escapes. Same thing.
Yeah, Oxtra's looking just too much reliant on his stealth. You know what happened? You turn invisible, you think you're completely safe, and Aikini's like, I can see you. You see that little silhouette right there? Your cat's next to you. Let me blast you out of there. Followed an SCC, launched you to the air, said goodbye. Clean victory on Aikini's side. That's the Warlock Summoner matchup right there.
The sheer power of it. And those Warlock aerials, you know, they've been something to be careful about for quite a long time. You know, they've always been the menacing, the trump card in the Warlock's arsenal. As soon as you get that aerial launch off and, you know, the cooldowns are there, the time distortion has been blown, you're going to be in a bad way if you're on the receiving end of that one. So Guardian now convincing with the 1-0. Remember, to win the first 5 games, you're going to take the victory, but it wasn't all that way for Happy. But Guardian, they starting off pretty damn well.
Yeah, so our very next matchup will be Pohorhan versus the Bears. Pohorhan being, you know, that aggressive gunner, but here's the hard part. You got the Sin, and a lot of people will tell you, like, hey, this is the hard matchup. A lot of gunner skills require a target, except for their Bull Rush, but we've seen that a lot of gunners don't even use Bull Rush for this matchup. They use this sweeping version, it has a pretty slow animation, but a pretty big area. We'll see what Pohorhan will plan to do against this matchup. Again, Gunner versus Sin. Not biased, but I'm kind of leaning on the Sin in this case. You know, they have a lot of ways to deal with the Gunner.
Or could we potentially see Pohorhan change it up and go the Shadow Gunner? But no, I wouldn't mind to see. No, he is going to be running that fire. But I tell you what, I wouldn't mind to see a bit of Moonshine Undertaker action, especially when you've got somebody like De Beers who is just ridiculously slippery. You want to be covering as much ground as possible. But regardless, you can't really underestimate understate the power that the Fire Gunner just brings out at the moment. De Beers already taking a little bit of damage. Pohorhan, though, if there's a man who knows how to use a Skystone, it's this guy, but not much happening at the moment.
And they have to be pretty crazy. I think the Bears kind of at a disadvantage at the very beginning. He did get hit by the double Bears, and he had to use his escape immediately. There he is, catching that Bull Rush actually with his own Lotus Sphere. That's pretty harsh for Pohorhan. Having used his Alpha Call will be after this deadlock, I suspect. But the Bears taking free damage, being launched instantly there, having used the escape again. There's the Alpha Call. Now the Bears can't really use his CC. And here it is, the instant escape. Now the Bears turn the tide. He has his CCs up. He doesn't have his flower. He has to wait out these hooks. And he's just tracking the Sin. There it is, the Lotus Spear. And this should be it. Followed by the web here. This is the Sin Terry, the 100-0. Big, massive combo. Lightning right into Poison Breath. Close shave, followed by Spinal Tap. More damage. And let's get the Lightning Strike.
Oh, he did it!
The Lightning just taps him with his knife.
Oh, he did it! I thought Pohorhan was just spreading De Beers like warm butter on toast all over that field. Like there was nothing that he could do. And then the big 100-0 after baiting the cooldowns, the Bombard, Close Shave, Poison Breath, just face rolling. It was beautiful to watch. Beautiful to watch. But I think Pohorhan will be disappointed that he let that one slip.
Yeah, he definitely had the advantage at the very beginning with that really quick escape. But don't forget, guys, this is the big game. This is the last game of the night, I believe. And this is for that last spot for the UK tournament for, you know, the chance to represent NA in Worlds.
For this week, anyway. For this week, until we get into the second prelim. But yes, there are only a limited amount of spots, and the final one for this week available. This is what's on offer here. that money that you're staring at there, that is what's on offer here. There's so much that these guys are playing for. You do not want to be on the back foot. And Bag T, you know, they hadn't dropped a game yesterday, and they come into today. I don't know what's happened. It's either Guardian woke up or Bag T, you know, had a couple flat tires along the way. But this is the game that Guardian really want to be taking away. The 3v3s haven't necessarily been their best, especially on day number 1, where Legacy was able to come back and get the reverse sweep on them. So, you know, they've definitely struggled in that respect. But Yasuni has just turned up today. So has Aikini and De Bears with the clutch play that came in at the end there. That was phenomenal. The big 100-0 baited out the escapes. You just couldn't ask for a more textbook assassin play than that.
Yeah, and this next 3v3 again for 2 points, so you can just tie the score right away. I think this will be a treat for myself, because we have the lineup here. Of course, you have Bag T, the same Summoner, Gunner, and Blade Dancer from top to bottom. But on Guardian's side, we'll be having the Destroyer from the Bears, you see on Warlock, and Aikini will be on the Soul Fighter.
I was gonna say, is that a Soul Fighter? Do I see
is
SF?
the Soul Fighter. This will be the first Soul Fighter 3v3 of this tournament. And that's what I'm looking forward to this. We've seen previously, we didn't touch much about it, but Happy also opted, instead of running that Warlock on Zac, he used a Summoner. So I think the idea is, hey, against Bag Milk, they do a lot of damage. Let's try to, you know, play the sustain, you know, instead of getting that high damaging Gunner, let's get the healing Soul Fighter with a good amount of aerials themselves, you know, Happy using their Summoner instead of the Warlock. Perhaps this is just how you counter Bag T. Maybe this is the problem. They're used to these high damage comps. They're used to these people just berating over with just massive amount of DPS and just wall bangs and aerials. Maybe the problem is just to heal through. But we'll see what happens again. This will be the first Soul Fighter we've seen today and yesterday too, in terms of the 3v3. So I'm looking forward to this. Yeah.
Could work, man. Could work. Look, I'm excited for the Soul Fighter. I think do they have enough damage though? I mean, you got the Destroyer and the Warlock. Look, I think it's there, but taking the Gunner away, that is a big chunk of damage. You can't understand that. He's actually going to start things off here as well versus the Summoner Oxtra.
And we see immediate stun, unfortunately hits the cat instead of the actual target. True Friend used by Oxtra. So now Aikini's just going to straight through, trying to get too much damage unless he gets aerialed himself. And the Aikini's already taking so much damage at the very beginning. The Bears has to protect him. All right, Aikini, come on, show us that Soul Fighter. You get the stun off and you counter the cat Daze. Great, just pushing in with that Earth Pulse. Daze landed again. Aikini's into his melee stance. Will he be able to get a charge into range? And there he goes. Knocks him back, trying to go for the launch. There's a King Fist onto the massive Dragon Fury damage. And we see Oxford down to 50, 60, 44% right here. They got to tag out for Poharon. Aikini doing great. Finally using Escape. Instant launches Poharon. How do you like that sort of medicine? Stuns and does this double launch again. Poharon just not able to use Escape. Tag out. It's the Bears' turn to shine.
Just palm after palm there. The juggle play from Aikini was great. He started off a little bit shaky, and I'll admit I was also a little bit questionable, but that was pretty good the way he rounded that one out. And already De Beers, his fourth gets caught under the firefall, but goes in, closes the distance onto Poharon. Sorry, remember he does have the Skystone available there, straight up into the air. Remember what happened last time in this matchup? Exactly this. We thought Poharon had the advantage, and then De Beers just closed the distance. There's Tombstone now. Po's still got the Alpha Call, and as I say that, there it is. And now De Beers gets the launch off. Will he go for the pile driver? Yes, he will. But in comes the assist. Coming across this time, Aikini comes in, trying to save the day. And Oxtra, meanwhile, does exactly the same for Bag T.
Bear just kind of low on focus. Is pretty bad for him, so he has to hide in the disclosure. Poharon is going to have his escape again. The Bear's kind of low on HP. I would get out of there if possible. He does use his persistence, so he'll be able to last a little longer. Iframes are being used. All you have left is an Ember Stomp.
And now the tag across will come in. Poharon versus Yasuni. What can little Yas do here against the menacing gunner that is Poharon? He just goes straight up into Skystone, uses the deadlock, will hook himself back down, does not have any hooks available now. He's staying up in that air. Will Yasuni catch him out? No, he misses it, just coming down, but Alpha Call is good. No, he gets launched up into the Soul Shackle. Imprisoned Helix after Salvo, standing in the time distortion, trying to reset those cooldowns, is unable to do so because in comes Oxtra with the save and just heals him straight back up. Great summoner play coming through there. Now the tag will come across. It'll bring in Satanical for the first time in this game so far. 7.5 minutes left on the clock. That's a good Phantom Grip. Will actually catch out Yasuni. In comes the Bears, though. And not with the assist, with the actual tag in. Just trying to catch out Satanical here. The wallbang game is very real right now. The threat ever looming. You know what else is? That Ember Stomp into the cleave, into the Judgment, straight up into the air, and the Bears, just like that. Lincoln, you'll miss it. 50% of Satanical's HP is GAWN gone.
Yeah, Satanical opts to usually save his escape against the Destroyer matchup, so it's kind of very dangerous in this situation. He uses that cheese multi-slash and chunk the Bear's HP, but he already knows this trick already. You can't fall for it every single time. We know Satanical is at least in that win build right now, and he's trying his best just to like deal some damage. Switch it to Aikini. Aikini gets instant launched, and Poron's already there for the save, or for the damage, and now it's a return launch onto Satanical, and he has to use his escape from here.
Yeah, Aikini just getting caught as he comes in. That's it's not where you want to be, especially as the Soul Fighter. Once you're up there, you're going to struggle. He does have second wind, still holding on to Focus Chi as well. And now just biding his time, has to deal with Oxtra, who has done pretty well coming in on the assists here so far, taking a lot of damage. So much damage coming out here from Aikini. And now that'll force Oxtra way back onto the bench. In comes Poharan, catches Yasuni, who also tags in with a launch at the same time. Tombstone now will come across, but Aikini straight back into the action with the assist. That's the launch. Poharan was hoping not to be caught out by 22%. Does Yis have the damage? Doesn't have the time distortion? No, so I don't think so. Poharan will survive for now.
And we see that the Bears try to get that cheeky wall bang right now, but is it even needed? We have ults now onto Guardian's side, I believe, but was just tagged out. Satanical using his barrier, trying to heal through, but this is again going to be a difficult situation for Bag T right now. They have lost Oxtra in terms of team power, and Satanical is taking so much damage. Tries to get the launch a little late on there, and now it's Aikini to get the knockdown combos with that Soul Fighter knockdowns right there. Gonna pull back, get deflected, it seems like.
Oh!
Got too much trigger finger. Satanical playing around, like he knows he can hold on to his escapes. After all, he is a Soul Fighter. He can heal through this. As I say that, maybe you can't heal through every single thing, Aikini. And we have the Bears going for the save again. I believe that's the last save from the Bears. Aikini's by himself, and we have the Soul Fighter versus Gunner 1v1 situation.
Yeah, there's still 2 minutes until they're gonna get themselves an extra tag. So until that time, it looks like both of these teams are just playing rather passively. 5 minutes ticking down. Bag T 0, Guardian 2. Aikini with the Soul Fighter has done pretty well. I must say, exceeded all expectations. Started out a little bit rocky, came in, got caught on a tag, but alas, he's still there. Now duking it out with Poharan, who does have the ult available. Throws down the Haze Bomb, will actually catch out Aikini here, who in the air doesn't really have much. That's a second wind being burnt. Aikini needs to be careful now. Goes in, if he gets caught here, he is really going to struggle. 40 seconds until the tag out. There is the Alpha Call coming through. Aikini, there we go, actually catching him out with the Frost Palm combo. Now going in. In comes, looks like Yasuni with the time distortion. So that will just reset Aikini. Now he goes in yet again. Big damage with the King Fist, and he gets the kill onto Poharan.
Yeah, Aikini playing super well around that King Fist, knowing just the perfect timing to do it. Poor old Poe trying to get that Kiki ult earlier, didn't quite make it, and now it's time for the Summoner matchup. We see that perfect laser stun onto the Summoner. Summoner uses his party time, it seems like, and now Aikini's going to retreat. He has 7 seconds left. His heal buff has expired, and we see he actually still has 60% HP, not 40%. Thank God for the massive cleric type class. And now it's the Bears' turn to go against the poor Summoner Oxtra right there. And there's the Destroyer ult. He's just going to watch Oxtra die and smashes that poor little Summoner into oblivion.
Yep, now the Bears menacing. He's tasted blood. He wants more. He sees the rat in his eyes and he's just chasing him down. Red spin for days into the ram. Cleave judgment for days. So much damage coming out here on your back is where you do not want to be against the Destroyer. There it is. Baits out the tap escape. So well done. Satanical will come back. The Soaring Falcon goes in but is duped out by the iron plating of the Bears. 1 minute until he tags out. Satanical all by his lonesome. Nothing. The 3-minute mark comes across. The tags are reset, but still Satanical gets absolutely donuts. The Bears and the rest of Guardian well in the driver's seat here at the moment, and all it's going to take is one bad launch. Could this be it? Satanical does have the escapes up, but there's no point in using it. Aikini with the King Fist again. GG. Guardian go to 4-0.
Yeah, playing that again, it's that Soul Fighter, man. I gotta say, these buffs really made him through. You can knock down a target, it doesn't have to worry about any sort of ground counter. 30-second King Fist. We saw Akini also utilizing his aerial. You saw that double arrow on poor Poe, man. He's like, oh, is this how it feels like to be on the other side of this skill? And the heals just help him so much.
Now, Guardian, 2 more 1v1s just on the other side of this, and 2 more points is all they need, my friend, and they are going to be joined happy as the second North American qualifier for the LAN finals, and a guaranteed money, thank you very much. They'll also be joining the European winners, Team Goblin Spiders and Team Bai. So 3 of the 4 chairs currently have posteriors firmly planted in them, and now will it be Guardian, will it be Bag T? Who knows? At the moment it's looking like Guardian, but remember, should Bag T not be successful, should any of the teams across the regions not be successful, there is that second preliminary tournament that you can see there on screen, so there is still that second chance, and then that money at the finals. That's where the big boys come out to play, and that's where you can expect to see a lot of focus, Hank, just a lot of less memeing is what I'm trying to get at here. Everybody sort of gets their game face on just because of what is on offer, what's at stake. Not only is it the money, but you get to go represent your region at Worlds and fight it out with the best. Money cannot buy that kind of experience.
Exactly. And then we have up next the 1v1. This is going to be the 5th point for Guardian, or the 1st point for Bag T. It's going to be Satanical versus Yasuni, BD versus Warlock. It's a bet. I want to tell Bag T to win so I can see more of the Soul Fighter 3v3s. But maybe. Regardless, the 1v1's coming up right now. Satanical versus Yasuni.
Let's go. Yasuni versus Satanical, Warlock versus Blade Dancer. Satanical straight away wastes absolutely no time into the Ascend, into the Lightning Draw. What happened to your HP? Yes, he's got 50, well, just over 50% HP left. Satanical just going absolutely ham here on Little Yes.
As you say that, though, Satanical himself taking returning fire from a little bit there, losing 30%, and Yasuni able to heal it back up. Look how much he's healing from the Wing Storm, just sank them in the bash. And Satanical, he's out of escape, out of time, and out of luck.
Out of life, and well, currently running out of chances, because that is going to be another point, and now all that stands between them and victory is 1 more 1v1, Hank. 1 more 1v1. Who are they going to send in? I believe it's going to be Oxtra going against De Bears as this next 1v1. So should De Bears take this one, it all rests on his shoulders. I think he's got the experience to do it, Hank. He's played a fantastic assassin. He's played a fantastic destroyer. He is multitasking like an absolute boss in this competition at the moment, and now he gets the honor, the privilege of potentially carrying his team to the LAN finals.
Yes, and this is definitely going to be a very hard battle for Oxtra. Still kind of hoping Oxtra wins just so I can see more Soul Fighter gameplay. Please, Guardian, just one. You don't need a perfect score, but just can please play your heart out, because this could possibly be, this is the match point. This could be the end, the last game of the evening. It's not quite evening yet for some people, but for me at least. But either way, it's going to be super interesting. Game point for Guardian, all right? 1 more. That's all they need, just 1 more, and that's just it. Not to mention, however, don't be too discouraged for any other teams, any fan favorites from the audience. They have another chance next month for the 2nd preliminaries.
That's it. There is still plenty of Blade and Soul esports coming your way, and if you're thinking, hey, I want to get involved in this, if you're in the regions, hell, if you're in the EU region, get yourself involved. You can enter, and you do have, I would probably say, a better chance, Hank, because you would argue that 2 of the best teams, they're qualifying, they're going through, and then you might just have that little bit more of an extra shot. So get involved. There is money on offer, and I hope you're having a fantastic time, because now we're going into De Bears going up against Oxford. Last round, let's get it on.
You see the doom and bloom immediate right away just to prevent that sort of stealth like habitation, and you see, but the Bears doesn't really care. He knows the timing for this. He knows how to get through. He just bombards in the middle of the air right there, hiding in the smoke. Knows that he's not going to take too much damage from the summoner. Oxford just kind of throwing his dandelion in hope, but the Bears is patient. He knows how to play around this. And there we go, some chunking damage right there. About a quarter left, half damage. And Oxford's in a very bad situation. Hasn't used his escape quite yet, but the Bears doesn't care because he's just going to chase him to the ends of the earth at this rate. Oxford finally needs to opt for escape, but he doesn't. Just SS's right there. It hits into the Bears party dandelion. Very bad move. The Beacon doesn't quite get there. Oxford might just die without even being able to use his escape. The Bears finally using his escape with the flower. Power Pants goes through, and now it's a very scary. The Bears has no more escapes. Oxford does have an escape, but the HP difference could be the deficit between a healer and the assassin.
The Bombard is just coming across here. De Beers just does not care, just trying to catch Oxtra out with this PvE damage, just trying to get it done. He's got places to be this afternoon. He's got a date waiting. De Beers, though, taking a lot of damage now. Oxtra able to heal up. That's where the Summoner excels, but there's not going to be enough. And that is the game. De Beers does it for Team Guardian. And congratulations, fam. You are going through to the LAN finals. You are joining Team Happy, and you've just guaranteed yourself at least $4,000. Hank, what a ride we have had so far this weekend.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad it's over again. More Soul Fighter gameplay. It's all I ask. But congratulations, Guardian, with a dominating victory. Very powerful. Freaking. We have the Bears at the very end. He says, you know what? He doesn't even need to use CCs. The Bombards will do all the work for me, chasing that summoner forever. And we see at the very last highlight right there, Guardian, our second representative.
So that is the North American representatives for this weekend. And over on the EU side, we did have Team Goblin Spiders and Team Bi qualifying. Interesting to note there that the Rumble in the Realm champions, Bad Intentions, were actually knocked out quite early on in that tournament, so they will be participating in the upcoming second preliminary for sure, hoping to make amends there. So lucky for them, they've got that second chance. But Happy and Guardian today is all about them. Happy with the winner's bracket victory over Bag T. They lost only one game to Legacy before that, and they look incredibly crisp in the way that they were able to play. Slipped up a little bit in the final game in the series of 8, but it was, it was just a little slip-up, that's all. And then Guardian, we just saw on stream, defeating Bag T in an incredibly squeaky clean 6-0. It can't get much more cleaner than that one, and I tell you what, Hank, I am so excited for the preliminary number 2 coming up, as well as the LAN finals. It is just going to be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, this is going to be great. So exciting to see all these teams again. Hopefully all these teams again, except for, of course, Happy and Guardian. So, you could say you have a better chance. If you got 3rd and 4th place this time, that means you might get 1st and 2nd place next time. There's always hope. I hope every one of these teams keep practicing, trying, figuring out what didn't work, what did work. But still, congratulations to Happy and Guardian for such a powerful and just overwhelming presence into the first preliminaries.
Yep, we'll be seeing those two at the ESL studio in Leicester in the UK. The second preliminary, as you can see on the screen there, that starts on the 3rd of August. So make sure you gather your crew, your fam, your squad, whatever you call them, get them involved, because you could be representing North America at Worlds, and you could qualify for at least $5,000 in prize money. So without further ado, that wraps it up from us here over at the Blade and Soul Studios. So on behalf of my co-caster Hank, myself, Kit Fox, everybody else here at the NCSoft, I'm talking about everybody behind the scenes, the broadcast team, Maggie, Elusive, Kyle on the camera, you guys, the viewers, we do it for you guys. Hopefully you guys have had as much fun as we have. Your weekend is fully open now. Go out, enjoy it. But before you do that, make sure that you're following Blade and Soul Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook for all of the updates. Get all over the social medias, and you will not miss a beat. The socials are just popping up on screen now, so make sure you get around them. If you like this video, but you don't like Twitch for whatever reason, and YouTube's more your thing, get over to the YouTube channel as well. Like the YouTube channel, and all the VODs will be available there. Don't forget to catch up on all your esports news at esports.bladeandsoul.com. and that will just keep you in the loop for any information about the tournaments, about the upcoming prizes, about what's going on in the scene, because you want to be around that, especially when there's such a plethora of prizes on offer. So thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Kit Fox. This is Hank. This has been the day or week number 1 of the North American World Championship qualifiers. We'll see you here in a couple weeks' time for preliminary number 2. Catch you then.